Hi, I'm Tim Carpenter, and I'll be leading a two-part webinar on the implementation of an electronic health record system. Now, during the webinar, I'll be sharing with you what I've found to be key elements for project success. And one of those is a clear definition of business requirements. So let's talk about that for a minute. Now, business requirements are a description of features or functions of a system that satisfy a need for the organization or users to do something. Seems basic, but it's that need to solve a problem or achieve an objective. And that's where we start with the business requirements. You really got to understand what business problem you're trying to solve and what objectives you're trying to meet. Now, so for example, in your organization, it could be that primary objective is to implement electronic billing. Another could be to reduce aging receivables or decrease write-offs. Or on the clinical side, it could be more specific to improving compliance with clinical or quality assurance standards. So again, you must clearly define the business problem or objective before you get started at all. Now secondly, we're going to gather people together for what I call requirements sessions. And if we look at a clinical example, for instance, possibly an outpatient mental health clinic, you're going to want to bring in people that have a significant involvement in that client's case. From the receptionist that may take the client's call and schedule them for service, intake coordinator that sees the client, collects billing information when the client shows up, clinicians, clinical supervisors, and also folks that execute billing and track receivables and do collections. So you want to look at that in kind of this life cycle approach for the client and how their case follows through with your organization. Now, with these subject matter experts, we're going to work with them to map out the current process and clearly understand where information is gathered, at what point decisions need to be made or actions taken. So for example, a clinician may be required to document notes and treatment plan information in the system. But you also need to clearly understand at what points does a clinical supervisor need to review that work and approve it for billing to take place. So again, we're going to map that out very clearly so that we have a clear understanding of the process in relationship to the system that you're going to be looking at. Now, during the webinar, you'll gain a clear understanding of how to document requirements. We'll provide a template for that, and map it out into a flow chart in a way that you can validate these requirements with your stakeholders and also then migrate these requirements into a request for a proposal document, which begins your selection process of software with the various vendors. So we'll be talking a lot more about business requirements and documentation and other project success factors in the webinar. I hope you can join me.